Hey, what's going on everyone? In this video, I'll be doing a review of the Bose QuietComfort 15 headphones. Before we continue any further in the review, I just want to mention that this is a very expensive set of headphones. They're averaging for $300 whether you're in America or Canada, so they're very, very expensive. With that said, let's get into the actual review itself. As for the package contents, when you get it out of the box, you get this hardcover traveler's case, I guess, and this is how the headphones rest inside. You get these cards in which Bose wants you to advertise on their behalf. If someone asks you about these headphones, they're just like, give them this card. So you can toss these out, whatever you want to do. Some of the stuff you can see lying around. I personally have never used this yet. I have never even plugged it in for that matter. So there's a volume rocker on the other side. It looks like a microphone port, so I assume you can plug this into your phone and communicate. Personally, if that's the case, as mentioned, I never used them yet. I don't plan to, because if that's the case, it could cause a big problem, mainly because these are noise cancelling headphones, so you can imagine using this and a fire truck or ambulance is trying to get by you or something. That could cause a big problem. So yeah, I never plan to use them. The headphones just sit inside there just like that. The case also has this little pouch you can put additional batteries in and etc., or one of these wire adapters over here. Of course, it does come for an adapter for planes, because some of them require 2 ports here, so it's kind of nice that they included that. And this, of course, is the actual very standard fitting for the headphones. So right here, I don't know if you guys can see, it says high and low. Basically, if you connected this to, say, an amplifier or a computer, you can just turn it on to low, because the volume being produced by that device will be high enough as it is. But if you're plugging into, say, an MP3 player or a phone, then you can switch it to high and it would send up the volume even higher. Personally, I just use it on high all the time, and I can just control the volume from whatever device is plugged into. The end itself is a 3.5mm headphone port, this port right here, so it's very generic stuff. But the way this works is that it plugs in over here, like so, and that's it. In terms of the physical design otherwise, well, the wire itself is 5.5 feet. As you can see, it's like never ending. It's 5.5 feet, it's really long and great. In terms of the design itself, the comfort of this is, well, it's superb. These are the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn in my life. If you don't have much hair or none at all, this especially will be great for you. It's got this rubber padding at the top, and of course there is padding around the ear edges here, but here's the thing, your ears fit inside here. This doesn't rest on your ears should actually rest inside. I can wear these for hours on end and not be uncomfortable at all. They're very, very comfortable, very snug. They're great to wear. Okay, so it does take a single AAA battery to make the noise cancellation effect work, and it's kind of hidden over here. Just open that flap and there's a battery. Close it back up. There we go. As for battery life itself, Bose advertises as lasting about 35 hours, which, to be honest, is fairly accurate. 35 hours is pretty much what I average, so it's pretty good in that sense. Now, in terms of sound quality, okay, there's a bit of a good and bad to it. In terms of, vocals and highs, this thing is superb. It sounds very fantastic. However, what it's lacking in is bass. Bass on this thing is subpar. It's not that great. I mean, it's there, but I was honestly expecting more considering the high price of this device. Now, in terms of the noise cancellation itself, there's a switch over here which you activate. When it's on, there is the light turns green. If it starts flashing, that means the battery's almost dead. It turns off now. The way the noise cancellation basically works is, how can I explain this easily? There are like mini microphones on the outside of each side of the headphones. What happens is your ears are inside, right? And what happens is it takes the noise in to these microphones and then tries to send a negative noise to your ears. So it's trying to send a like a type of opposite type of noise is what's being played outside to give you a flat tone. You can't hear that tone, but that's basically how the noise cancellation effect works. I know that's a little confusing explanation, but that's kind of, I guess, the most simple way I can explain how they work. Okay, so without turning the switch on for noise cancellation, I gotta admit that just simply putting these headphones on cancels out a lot of noise as is. That's because, as mentioned, your ears rest inside, so just putting them on like this it makes a lot of noise get cancelled. Now, one thing I noticed is that when noise cancellation is on and activated, I noticed that it's not completely silent. You know, people sitting next to you having a conversation will be extremely muffled. I'm talking like whisper, less than whisper. But one thing I noticed is that high-pitched noises, say my cousin is playing a video game, and like Grand Theft Auto or whatever, but basically the character in the game was shooting a gun, I could hear that distinctively compared to any other noise. I noticed that high-pitched noises in general, the noise cancellation doesn't catch it quite as well, but it still does a pretty good job of muffling them out. One other thing you guys need to realize is that turning the noise cancellation on, it kind of makes you feel like your ears need to be popped. And what I mean is, like, you know when a plane's about to take off, it feels like you gotta pop your ears? It feels like that, and it's really irritating, but honestly after 5 minutes of usage, you'll get used to it and you won't even notice it at all. So if I had to give these headphones a final verdict, I would give them a 4 out of a 5. The pros of the device is basically the comfort. These are just so comfortable, I can't get over it. They feel very, very nice. And of course, they have great noise cancellation. And the noise cancellation is superb. It's like, it can't be perfect. It's nearly impossible, but they do a fantastic job. Vocals and high levels of, you know, sound and music that you're listening to is great. The cons, however, is a very high price. And one thing I need to mention to you guys is very, very important. When the batteries die and noise cancellation is off, you cannot listen to music. So the only way you can listen to music is when noise cancellation is on. So that basically means you need a full battery or a charged battery of some kind. So you guys need to be aware of that. The other con, of course, is it's lacking in bass levels. I'm a little disappointed. Not the end of the world, but you know, considering how expensive they are, I was expecting a lot more bass to be pumped out. But otherwise, fairly decent. So that's my review of the QuietComfort 15 from Bose. If you found this video useful, check out my website in the description below. Hit the like button, it does help. Subscribe, and thanks for watching.